Find out how you can save money on your insurance and utility bills while providing green jobs and helping create a more sustainable future next on Inside St. Lucie. Hello, welcome to this edition of Inside St. Lucie, SLC TV's monthly government affairs show. I'm your host, Eric Gill, Communications Director for St. Lucie County. And on today's show, we're going to talk about the Solar Energy Loan Fund, which was started by the St. Lucie County Board of County Commissioners more than a decade ago. My guests today are St. Lucie County Commission Chair Chris Sadowski and former St. Lucie County Commissioner and current President of the Solar Energy Loan Fund, Doug Coward. But before we meet our guests, here's some upcoming events and announcements from the Board of County Commissioners.
St. Lucie County Libraries are offering their summer reading challenges with virtual logs and arts and crafts projects that parents can pick up at all 6 branch libraries. The library system is also partnering with the Treasure Coast Food Bank to provide bagged lunches to families in need. For more information, visit the library's website at stlucieco.gov/library. Summer camps return to the Oxbow Eco Center with 3 different camps to choose from for ages 6 through 12 through the month of June. Camps will be held weekdays 8:30 to 5 with a cost of $180 per session. Registration is available online at oxboweco.com. Just click on the Youth Programs tab. There is roughly $10 million in financial assistance available to St. Lucie County residents through 2 programs to help renters and owner-occupied households who have been negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. For more information about these programs and qualifications, visit recoverstlucie.org.
Now for the latest updates about all St. Lucie County Commission meetings, workshops, and events, be sure to visit our website at stlucieco.gov and click on our calendar link. And if you'd like to be added to our press release distribution list, send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org. We also hope you'll follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at St. Lucie Gov. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to check in with the latest economic development stats with another St. Lucie Works.
With the pandemic slowing and vaccines increasing, St. Lucie County's bed tax revenue showed major improvements, with March's revenue up 85% compared to last year when the pandemic started. Overall building activity increased by 36% in March, with 1,362 permits submitted compared to February's 1,000 permits. The housing market isn't slowing down either. According to the Florida Realtors Association, the median home sale price in St. Lucie County in March was roughly $281,000, up 16% from last year, while condo values rose by 32% with the median price at roughly $260,000. St. Lucie County's unemployment rate ticked up in March to 5.3% compared to February's 4.8%. Statewide, the unemployment rate was 5.3%. The largest increases in the Treasure Coast labor force was in professional and business services with 1,600 new jobs and constructions and trades with 800 new jobs. The largest decreases were in leisure and hospitality, education and health services, and government. If you work for a local business looking for skilled or trained labor, be sure to contact the staff at CareerSource as they can assist your company with its recruitment and training needs. And if you're an individual looking for a job, they can help you as well. Visit the CareerSource online at careersourcerc.com or call 1-866-4U2-HIRE.
Welcome back to Inside St. Lucie. I'm your host, Eric Gill, and I'm joined by St. Lucie County Commission Chair Chris Sadowski and former St. Lucie County Commissioner and current, I forget your title, President of SELF?
Executive Director.
Executive Director of SELF, the Solar Energy Loan Fund. So thank you both for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
For those that may not be aware, the SELF, the Solar Energy Loan Fund, is 10 years old. It's been around for a decade now, and it was started actually way back when both of you guys were on the Board of County Commissioners, and it was the first local government green bank in not just St. Lucie County, not just Florida, but the entire country.
Correct.
That's a big deal. I think a lot of people may not know that history and know about it. So tell us what SELF does.
Yeah, so SELF is a nonprofit community lending organization, and what we're trying to do is help working class families, retirees on fixed incomes, people who may not have great credit scores, access low-cost financing so that they can make a variety of sustainable home improvements. Those typically are high-efficiency air conditioners. We do a lot of roofs, impact windows, and hurricane shutters. We also do solar technologies, whether they're water heaters or PV systems. And most recently, we've even added disability lending products. So we're basically helping homeowners gain access to low-cost capital and then make much needed repairs or improvements to their homes.
And that's important. You know, Solar Energy Loan Fund may be a misnomer today.
Yeah, true.
The company has changed and morphed into what is really a resiliency project in our community, and self-reliant, self-sufficient. And I think that's really where you're going today with the name self. So it's important.
Right. So the county played a critical role by helping to obtain a highly competitive Department of Energy grant back in 2009. The county commission helped create the self-organization as a 501c3 and then spun us off as an independent nonprofit with the goal of us becoming certified by U.S. Treasury as a community development financial institution, a CDFI, which we did in about 2013, and then to try and scale the program so that we could reach the economies of scale to sustain the program long term. So that's the path that we've been on over the last 10 years.
And the CDFI is for low to moderate income. So 60% is the
Minimum, yeah.
minimum, but you do 70, 75%, something like that.
72-ish, yeah.
But the point is that anybody can get the loan and so on. But the important thing here is that the CDFI has access to Treasury money, and that's where a lot of the funding comes to help to produce and reduce the cost of actually getting the loans in place. And so it's helpful to our community.
Right, and one of the reasons why the county commission selected the CDFI model as the test to see if we could get this green bank to work was for the exact reason that Chairman Sadowski just mentioned, is access to low-cost capital. So we're able to we've almost raised $30 million since we started, and those dollars are coming in from bank CRA investments. They're coming in from faith-based organizations that are investing in these programs. We even tap into global crowdfunding through kiva.org. We've raised $1 million just through global crowdfunding. So as a nonprofit lender, we have access to low-cost capital that we can pull back into St. Lucie or other areas that we work, and then be able to provide local homeowners with access to low-cost financing so they can then overcome the high upfront cost of putting in a new $5,000 AC system or a $10,000 roof or maybe a $15,000 or $20,000 solar PV system.
And I remember when the board talked about this, because I was at the county at that time, and we talked about the three-legged stool of energy efficiency, helping those underserved communities, but also that job creation.
Right.
And so you talk about that amount of money, all that is jobs that back into the economy. So how do you guys work with some of our local, because it's not just local, you guys are in almost half the counties in the
We're actually
state.
statewide. We've done projects in more than half of the counties, but we operate statewide. We've just opened up new satellite offices in St. Pete, Tampa, and Orlando over the last 3 years, and we've begun lending in Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina. And we just secured a grant that's going to help us open up a new program in Atlanta in the coming weeks here. Wow. So essentially what we're doing is helping local homeowners get access to financing, but in the process, they're also creating jobs for local contractors. And for the same reason why local homeowners benefit, contractors are in the same category. They'll be out trying to sell a $5,000 air conditioning system to someone who has a 640 credit score and therefore doesn't qualify for their traditional financing. Instead of walking away from that project saying, sorry, I can't help you, SELF is an alternative financing program that can step in and fill that financial gap. So we're not only helping the homeowner, but now that same contractor has an additional job to work, right?
And the interesting part about that is we were in the recession. We were in the throes of recession. When I first came in 2008, literally we were just, the market just fell off and contractors were doing no business. Today it's a little different. Every contractor is working in
overtime.
But the idea there was the stimulus to create jobs. And there were a number of businesses that actually came to you after the fact and said, you pretty much saved my business, having that ability to create these loans.
We have over 600 contractors in our network now statewide, and probably about 300 here in the Treasure Coast. And out of all 600 of those, the number one contractor in our network is a Fort Pierce air conditioning company. Seacoast has been with us for 10 years. And they just surpassed $1 million of projects that we have financed just with that one company. Wow. So it's like a small economic engine, and we're basically we're directly helping homeowners, but we're also helping those local contractors as well. So if this is done properly, it truly is a win-win situation where the homeowners and the businesses are all benefiting from the activity.
Before we started, Doug was sharing a story with me about the credit scores, and one of the folks that came through that didn't have a score at all.
Right.
Can you kind of go through that briefly as to
Yeah,
because there are people out there that are just like this.
Yeah, I
individual.
appreciate you bringing up that story, Commissioner, because it's very telling. We had a retiree here in Fort Pierce apply for a $10,000 roof loan, and they had a 0 credit score. Now, obviously, no traditional financing or bank is going to provide them with funding if you have a 0 credit score. But because we're kind of like a local bank that gets to know our clients, we took a closer look at this individual, and we realized that he owned his home outright, had no mortgage. He had retirement income and the ability to pay. And with a 0 credit score, you would think that he had defaulted on every loan in his life, but in reality, he had not actually used traditional financing since 1994. And that was why he had no credit score. So although he's not able to get traditional financing, Self did approve that loan, even though he had a 0 credit score. He got a $10,000 loan and a very low interest rate, probably about half of market rate. And then he gets the home improvements and creates a job for a local roofing company. So that's a great example of the financial inclusion piece. We're trying to give people who may not have great credit scores access to financing so they can make these improvements into their homes.
I've always found it interesting that the person who has the least ability to pay pays the highest interest rate.
Well,
It's
you're right.
yeah.
And we've flipped that on our ear because we have multiple programs that we've set up, some in conjunction with St. Lucie County. And the lowest interest rate that we offer is 5% fixed through our global crowdfunding program with Kiva. Most unsecured loans, if you have good credit, might come in around 15, 18%. So to be able to secure an unsecured loan at 5% fixed, and that program is geared towards our clients who have the lowest credit scores. So instead of the lowest credit scores, like you just said, Commissioner, having the highest interest rates, we've flipped that upside down so that people with the lowest credit scores are actually accessing the lowest interest rates.
And he can tell a story, $30 million in lending so far, give or take, and less than 2% of the loans fail. And that's about being able to actually have that conversation with the client, understanding their situation much better and actually
Right.
pulling them
Making a plan for them, unlike the housing bubble that we went through where everybody was getting loans that they probably couldn't
Exactly.
pay.
And I think that's the nature of us being a nonprofit is we look at it as we work for that homeowner. We're trying to help them navigate through this process. And we don't just provide financing, but a broad array of what we describe as like project management. So we're pre-screening the contractors to make sure they have proper license and insurance. We're checking pricing to make sure they're not being gouged. And then when the local building inspectors sign off and approve the work, then we'll pay the contractor directly at the end of that process.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. If people are curious about, like, I've got an older home, I want to make some energy efficiency upgrades.
Right.
You guys even do consulting like that, or at least have contractors that you work with?
A little bit of both. We do try and provide like a little bit of building science and energy expertise. For example, a lot of people will come in and want to go solar as the first step, and usually solar is the last step because you want to start with the cheaper fixes like energy efficiency, making sure the home is weatherized, making sure your 20-year-old AC has been replaced with a 16-SEER system or higher, but help reduce your energy use before you size a solar system on the roof to produce power. But if you have an inefficient home with an old AC and old windows and you put solar on that, and then it powers an AC that's not efficient, and then the air you do create streams out the windows, that makes no sense, right? You need to start in phases. So we try and provide our clients with guidance through that process. A lot of folks will come in with a laundry list bigger than their ability to pay. And so we'll help prioritize and get them started. And another piece that's important is that a lot of folks will come in with a lower credit score, but because we report to the credit bureau, they're also building their credit with us as they pay off that loan.
The interesting thing is when Doug, earlier on, he would sit down and he would take the numbers and say, this is your electric bill, it's $400 a month. Well, once you do energy efficiency and then you reduce that to $150 a month, now you actually have $150 additional cash to put out for those additional energy efficiencies. So you do those energy efficiencies, you lower your cost to actually be in the home, and then it basically pays you back.
Yeah, that's a great point, Commissioner. Both on the energy side, and what we found is we opened up wind hazard mitigation, helping people put on fortified roofs, impact windows. The insurance costs are going down by $700, $800, maybe even $1,000 per year. So people are saving maybe 20, 25% of their energy bills, can also reduce their home insurance premiums.
Well, that's important right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I have had probably a dozen or more emails asking me, what are you guys doing to our insurance rates? Well, the county doesn't have anything to do with the insurance rates. That's your state legislature. If they're going to put any stops in place, they're going to be the ones to do it. But right now, insurance costs are going up exponentially. And so this might be a good time for the public to talk to SELF and say, hey, how can I reduce my exposure to issues such as hurricanes?
Right, and as we roll
flooding.
into the hurricane season right now, I know that some of the insurance companies are sending out letters to homeowners saying, if you don't get your roof fixed, you're going to lose insurance. And so that's where, again, SELF can step in and help. And it's kind of interesting when you're talking about storm-related issues is that we work with our local government partners like St. Lucie County on the upfront adaptation, trying to make those homes more resilient. But even post-storm, after a hurricane hits, we had another Fort Pierce homeowner whose house was severely damaged by Hurricane Irma. FEMA issued a $5,000 check to them, but the roof cost $10,000, and they didn't have a good credit score, they didn't have savings, and they didn't have ability to go and get the other $5,000. So they had a $5,000 check, but they couldn't actually use it. So SELF, in that case, stepped in, provided that homeowner with a $5,000 loan to match with the $5,000 FEMA grant, and then the $10,000 project was completed, and they got out of the hotel and back into their home. So we can help reduce the risk in advance, and we can also expedite the recovery afterwards as well.
Yeah, and it also helps, I think, like you mentioned too, that keyword resiliency, which the county and hopefully more local governments are starting to focus on now, but it's something you two as commissioners in your time in office have always been supportive of, and both been recognized by different groups for your green environmental efforts.
USGBC environmental awards, and the county got some awards for that.
So this whole program plays into that to maybe even help with that whole resiliency project that the county's moving forward on now.
Well, again, one of the interesting things is the county has a PACE provision, and SELF is our agent for operating the property assessed clean energy provision in our local government. And so, do you want to talk about how that works with the property assessed clean energy side?
And if I can just broaden the lens for a second, we don't have one lending program, we have about a half a dozen. And we try and get to know the client and then figure out which one of those lending programs is the best fit, which is going to provide the best term, best rates, because we have special programs for veterans, women, people with disabilities. So depending on the individual's situation, we can figure out which program works best. The one that the commissioner just mentioned is the Property Assessed Clean Energy, and it is the one program that we have specialized and customized here in St. Lucie County. And so all of our other lending are unsecured loans, and we focus on residential rehabs. And the PACE program is broader and has a lot more flexibility. So in St. Lucie County, we not only have the residential lending programs, we have the ability to get PACE assessments, which are basically land secured assessments that you pay as a part of your tax bill. And so you're eligible for up to 20% of the value, the equity in the home. So if you have a $200,000 home, you can get a loan up to $40,000 if you've paid your taxes on time over the last 3 years and have equity in the property. And then you can use those funds to do energy efficiency, renewable, wind resilience, and some other things. And it's applicable for residential, but also commercial, industrial. We've even applied it in the ag community, and the county commission just recently approved new construction for PACE. So we're now working directly with developers who are doing sustainable and green projects and able to provide part of the financing for those large-scale projects. So we're pretty excited about the PACE
There are
program.
probably a lot of folks out there who have read in the paper about PACE being a difficult thing to do and people being taken advantage of. We have created consumer protection provisions beyond anybody else.
Absolutely.
So I think that's important to talk about.
Yeah, I think two things I would stress is most of the local governments who have adopted a PACE program have basically done like a hands-off approach where they bring in a for-profit company and hope that it goes well. There are class action lawsuits in all 3 states that they operate. In contrast to that, St. Lucie County works with a nonprofit organization, SELF, to oversee and administer that and to look after local clients and local homeowners. And to the Commission's credit, they voluntarily adopted the highest consumer protection standards in the state voluntarily. It goes above state law because we wanted to make sure that people had the ability to pay. Because as you noted earlier in the conversation, our default rates are very low. We are not trying to push loans on people, we're trying to help them.
Sure.
So if people don't have the ability to pay and get locked into a PACE assessment, it could be problematic because it's tied to your taxes and your property. And so we want to make sure that people do not default on those because of that
Because
particular issue.
there's some unscrupulous contractors will come in and say, hey, I can get you a new roof, new windows, new doors, all these things, and it's only going to cost you $90,000. Well, your house can't afford that, you can't afford the payment, and then you end up giving up your house because they took you through this program and it fails.
Yeah.
So that's why we put in, and the board was very adamant about the consumer protections. And so
And thank you for that, by the
we're
way.
glad that we're doing this together. So.
Yeah, I agree. And we're setting a standard for the whole state. There is no program in the entire state of Florida that mirrors what St. Lucie County has done, both with the nonprofit looking over the program and also the higher consumer protections that were adopted.
So this program's grown about 400% in the last 10 years. Where's it going in the future?
Yeah, it's actually grown 400% in the last 3 years. We've
okay.
opened up St. Pete, Tampa, and Orlando in the last 3 years,
Wow.
and our overall lending has increased by 393% in the last 3 years. COVID was particularly interesting because when it hit, we didn't know what impact we'd have on our existing portfolio as well as on demand moving forward. And I think if you look at what happened in the country is energy use dropped overall, but the residential energy use went up.
Everyone's
And
working
people,
from
you know, my view is that people were in their homes and viewing their homes in a way they'd never had before. It was their castle. It's their one safest place on the planet, right? And so the one sector, one of the few sectors in the country that was actually growing during COVID was the home improvement and new construction sector. So Home Depot and Lowe's have been making record profits. And because we are a home improvement lending organization, by happenstance, our demand also went up enormously as well. So in 2020, we increased our lending by 84% over the previous year. Wow. And we broke our all-time lending records in like 10 consecutive months, and it hasn't stopped. We're still facing huge demand. We have a pipeline right now of over $2 million in projects.
Wow.
So we're struggling to just keep up with demand. And we're finding that there are tremendous needs and opportunities, not just in Florida, but beyond. So we're very aggressively working with like-minded local governments. St. Lucie is one of those standouts, but there's also the St. Pete, Orlando, some of the leaders in the state on promoting the clean energy economy and these innovative programs. So we try and partner with those leaders and then bring our programs into those areas, sign up local contractors, and then the economic engine just starts rolling.
That's great. Now,
Yep.
if folks want to find out more, you have a website and offices here, but
We do.
Even if you're in Martin or or Indian River County, right? You can.
Yeah,
take
it's
advantage
true. We do have, our headquarters is still here in St. Lucie. We have satellite offices in those 3 cities that I just mentioned that we expanded to, but honestly, most of our activity is online. We've made major investments in financial technologies so that we can do 100% online lending.
which helped, I'm sure, during COVID.
It did, and again, our chief financial officer, Duane Andrade, had been pushing hard for those investments, and as a small nonprofit, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, $200,000. But it was the wisest investment we ever made, and we finished that FinTech project right as COVID hit.
Wow.
So we were ready immediately. We shut down our offices in the entire state and had the entire staff of 15 working from home, and still increased our lending activity by 84%. So people can go to our website, which is solarenergyloanfund.org, or they can call our headquarters here in Fort Pierce, which is 772-468-1818. And we'd be glad to try and help you. We have hundreds of contractors in our network. We usually encourage our clients to get multiple quotes, get to know those local companies, figure out which one you want to work with, and then we'll provide financing. We do not provide financing for contractors outside of our network because we want to make sure that they've been pre-screened, because we want our clients to get good pricing, quality work, and so forth.
Yeah, I think that's really an important part of this thing is that the contractors are vetted. Too many stories you hear that the contractor came in, they got X amount of dollars up front, and then they never came back.
Yeah.
And so that's not going to happen with these guys.
Yeah,
So-
we heard a lot of those stories back after the hurricanes.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh, yeah.
the storms come through and you see all those mobile response units that roll into town
Yeah.
and no license, no
Right.
insurance. Yeah.
Well, I'll give you one other example, if I can, you just
Yeah.
reminded me of, is we had one of these other PACE companies out of Miami try and come into St. Lucie. And we had a local homeowner come in and say, hey, I hear you guys, provide financing for solar. We said, yes, we do. How can we help you? he showed us the invoice. We chuckled. We said, we're not doing that. And he goes, well, what are you talking about? I said, sir, you're about to get ripped off. And he's like, really? I said, yeah, you're paying about double the market rate for solar. And so we contacted the owner of that company. We kicked him out of our network for trying to gouge local homeowners. And then we had that individual rebid his project out to 3 local companies. When we got done with that, we saved him $20,000 on the project before we even financed it.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. I mean, so you got to be careful with some of these companies. Well, most are reputable, but if you're not sure what you're doing, and it's a newer technology, it's probably good to have someone looking over your shoulder to help guide you through the process. Make sure you don't get ripped off, because if you do get a good price, the other thing that's quite interesting is people, like when we're talking about clean energy, like talk about it as if it's a sacrifice we have to make. And I have to chuckle because the price of solar has gone down 80% in the last 10 years.
Absolutely.
We can save a homeowner, just a house, a homeowner $10,000 or more over the life of that solar system in energy costs. You're going to save thousands of dollars. It's not going to be a sacrifice. We're going to save you money. We're going to put local contractors to work, and we're going to stop sending our energy dollars out of the state to fuel somebody else's economy. We're kind of redirecting those energy dollars back into the local community to grow our local businesses and have those dollars invested into making improvements to our own properties.
One other thing that the SELP is doing right now is providing funding for septic to sewer. That's a big issue that St. Lucie County has been trying to tackle for a long time. Anybody that's along the lagoon, any of the counties along the lagoon, we make it a big issue with the National Estuary Program and trying to remove septic effluent from the groundwater system, which ends up in the canals, which ends up in the lagoon, which ends up, green algae. So all of those things are so important that we're trying to do that. And I think you started a program with Martin County recently on that funding side.
Yes, and starting at the high level, what's kind of cool is when people think about the self-organization, they may think of it as like like a static thing that can only do one program. And the beauty of the CDFI program that we are is that you can actually customize new lending products. You can add to it. So as the commissioner noted, we started out with a laser focus on energy efficiency and solar. Then we expanded into wind hazard mitigation. Then we added solar products, disability products, and all within the CDFI program. So Martin County provided us with a small seed grant to expand into Martin County just recently. In fact, we just surpassed $1 million of projects there as well. And they had a particular interest, as you noted, in water quality issues and asked if we would work with their utility to develop a new sewer loan product. So this is where our Chief Strategic and Financial Officer, Dwan Andrade, is fantastic, is that she was able to basically be like a financial architect in putting this new lending product together. We just launched that program in the fall of 2020, kind of a slow pilot rollout. And we've already done $250,000 of lending just on sewer loans in Martin County, which is a smaller county in the state. So our hope is that we can use that as like a template that we can then expand in other jurisdictions, because why not work with a local nonprofit who can leverage your dollars 10 to 1, can take all the risk on the lending, can raise the capital, do the underwriting, do the servicing, and basically do it for you. You're just partnering with them. So if I can brag for just 1 minute, talking about leveraging, St. Lucie County has been an amazing partner, not only helping us get the original grant, but it also gave us a little bit of seed funding through the first 3 years. We have taken that $75,000 in seed funding that you provided to the nonprofit and turned it into $8 million of projects in St. Lucie County. That's about 100 to 1 leveraging ratio of your local dollars. And we haven't asked for a penny from the county in I think about 8 years. So we've scaled this program, and we're kind of a unique nonprofit because we generate a little bit of income, earned revenue is the proper term. As we're lending, we're making a little bit of money from that. So the more lending we do, the more revenue we create. So our goal is to not only promote sustainability, but to actually promote organizational sustainability as well, so that we can eventually wean ourselves off of having to seek grants to survive. And so our business strategy is to actually make the nonprofit organization sustainable itself. And we're on that trajectory right now.
And back to sustainability and water quality, the American Rescue Act actually has funding specifically for water quality issues, especially septic to sewer.
Right.
So there's an opportunity right now, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, to let the folks in St. Lucie County know that it exists and that you've actually created your pilot program. It's working
Yep.
today. So now I'm hoping that St. Lucie County residents will reach out and work with our utility, work with Fort Pierce Utilities Authority, and even Port St. Lucie as to how there's opportunities.
Yeah, we would love to do that.
Well, great. We covered a lot of ground here. Commissioner, is there anything you didn't get to mention before we wrap up the show?
You know, I'm just proud of this entire process and everything that's unfolded. And I shared the metaphor, I guess, earlier today, is that, you know, Doug and I were like the doubles tennis players. You know, he serves the ball, I come in and I volley back, and then he comes back and he goes, slams it home. So you've been doing a great job, Doug.
Well, thank you, Commissioner, and we are very appreciative of St. Lucie County's leadership on this. I mean, honestly, I'm so proud of the fact that the program we created here locally was just showcased in Congress last week. They're debating a $100 billion National Climate Bank Act, and of all the green banks in America, they chose the Solar and Energy Loan Fund of St. Lucie County Incorporated to showcase as a national model on how the green banks can work, and handpicked our Chief Financial Officer, Duane Andrade, to be an invited guest speaker and an expert on these green bank and financing programs. So I'm proud of the work that we've done together, and I certainly didn't think when we started this program 10 years ago that we would be showcased, you know, in Congress as a national model. But we've done some really innovative things. We've already completed 8 million projects so far, and we're looking forward to doing tens of millions of dollars of additional projects here in St. Louis.
Well, there is one thing I want to share. You know, I know this airs June 1st. And so this week is the beginning of the World Baseball Softball Confederation baseball qualifiers for the Olympics. So the winner of these games that will be held at Clover Park and Fit Team Park in Palm Beach, we partnered with Palm Beach on this project. So the Olympics will pass through St. Lucie County.
Awesome.
And so this week, if you haven't got tickets, get them quickly. They're at Clover Park, and we have 8 international teams that'll be participating, and so come out and watch some Olympic baseball.
And hopefully the president will get your invite. I know it made the national news, so
sure,
hopefully
international
he'll
news,
actually
yeah.
hopefully he'll take you up on that offer. So. Well, thank you guys both for joining
Thanks,
me.
Thanks for having me.
Don't go anywhere. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the show. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Inside St. Lucie, and we hope you'll tune in again next month. If you have topics or subjects you'd like to see covered here on the program related to St. Lucie County government, give us a call at 772-462-1791 or send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org. And if you'd like to see previously aired episodes of this or other SLC TV programs, check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/stluciegov. I'm your host, Eric Gill. For myself and the staff, thanks for watching.